In EstimatorXpress, we have a set of blank estimating calculators, which can be used to estimate tasks or items which aren't already covered in one of the other estimating calculators. If you simply need to add a list of sundry items to the estimate, you can use the Composite Items Estimating Calculator. In this video, I'll show you how to use the Composite Items Estimating Calculator to estimate a list of items. As an example, I'm going to estimate the cost of installing a pond. Note that the Composite Items Estimating Calculator is not based on dimensions. If you need to estimate a dimension-based task, either the length, area or volume estimating calculator might be more appropriate. From the main estimate, click on the Estimating Calculators tab on screen. When you create your job from a job template or a Plans Express import, you'll find an estimating calculator called Composite Items already in the list. It will be greyed out if you haven't yet used it. It has a shopping basket icon. This reminds us that we can use this calculator like a shopping list to add one or multiple items on the fly. If Composite Items isn't already in your job, you can add it in. I'll just remove it from this job now to show you how. To add an estimating calculator to your job, click the Add Estimating Calculator button on the ribbon at the top of the screen. The Add Estimating Calculators window opens up. In the Find box, type in Composite. Then press the Enter key on your keyboard to start the search. Tick the box next to Composite Items and then click Select. A dialog box appears asking you to name the Composite Items Estimating Calculator. Change the generic name to something more meaningful. In this case, I'm going to call it Garden Features. Once you've typed in a name for the workbook, click OK. Now type in a name for the worksheet. I'm going to call this Garden Pond. And I'm going to select Garden for the location. Now click Add. The Composite Items Estimating Calculator opens up in the Sundry Resources tab. As mentioned before, this type of estimating calculator is simply a list of sundry items. It doesn't have a Dimensions tab as it's not linked to dimensions, and it's also not linked to the specification. The materials and other resources it contains are completely free-form, so changing the specification will not affect this type of estimating calculator. At the moment, the estimating calculator is empty, so we need to add some resources. You can add any resource type to the worksheet using the Add buttons at the right-hand side of the top ribbon. I'm going to start by adding a material. When you click an Add button, the price book opens up. As I'm looking for materials for a pond, I'm going to filter the price book using the Type column to show only landscaping materials. If I hover my cursor over the Type column, a funnel icon appears next to the word Type. Click on the funnel icon, and the list of material types appears. I'm going to scroll down to find landscaping. Now I can see a shorter list of landscaping items. I want to start by adding a pond liner to the estimate. You can use the Find box to search the price book for the item you need. Type in a keyword and press the Enter key. As there are no pond liners in the price book, I need to create a new resource. To add a new resource, you can select a similar existing resource to use as a template. I'm going to clear this search, and then I'm going to find a landscaping material with a unit of supply of each. That's because my pond liner is purchased individually, not by the square metre. Click on the resource you're going to use as a template, and then click the New Resource button on the menu. Update each of the fields for the new resource. I'm going to give this a description of heavyweight, 0.5mm, PVC pond liner, 4 meters by 3 meters. I'm going to copy the last bit to use for the customer-friendly description and for the plan-specific description. The unit cost for this pond liner is £55. The unit of purchase is correctly set to each. I'm going to leave the merchant set to HP Excel Price Tracker Plus. The landscaping type is appropriate, but I'm going to change this wastage percentage to 0. Once you've completed all the fields for the new resource, click OK. The new resource appears at the bottom of the price book. It's already highlighted, so click Select Resource on the top menu to select it. The Edit Resource window opens up. Type in an item used for. This can simply be pond liner. I'm going to set the quantity to 1 because we need just the one of them. The usage factor is 1 because the unit of supply is each, and we need 1 for this task. From the build phase drop down box, I'm going to select landscaping. Now I'm going to click OK. So now the pond liner has been added to the worksheet. Next I'm going to add in some plants for the pond. I'm going to click Add Material again. I'm going to filter the price book to show those landscaping materials again. And again I'm going to find a suitable template material. Again I need one with a unit of supply of each. Once you've selected the template resource, click the New Resource button and update each of the fields for the new resource. I'm going to give this a description of pond plants, and I'm going to copy that and use it for the customer friendly description and the plan specific description. I'm going to set the unit cost to £10. These are purchased individually, so they need a unit of purchase of each. I'm going to set the merchant as HP Excel Price Tracker Plus, and the material type of landscaping is correct as it is. Again I'm going to set the wastage to 0, and now I'm happy with the properties of the resource. I'm going to click OK. The new resource is highlighted, so I can click the Select Resource button to select it, and now I just need to fill out the Edit Resource dialog box. So the item used for is going to be water plants for pond. I'm going to set the quantity to 12 because we need 12 for this particular project, and the usage factor is 1 because we purchased them individually and we use them individually. Finally I need to set the build phase to landscaping. Take a look at the cost summary to check you're happy with the costs, and then click OK. You can check the total worksheet cost by looking at the top right corner of the worksheet. Of course, we can also add labour items to the worksheet. Click the Add Labour button. I'm going to use the Landscape Gardener for this task, which is already in the price book. So if I click on the Landscape Gardener to select it, I can then click the Select Resource button. In the Edit Resource window, I'm going to set the item used for to excavate and install pond. Let's say this task is going to take a day. The quantity would be 8, as the unit of supply is by the hour, so this will allow 8 hours to excavate and install the pond. As before, I'm going to select the landscaping build phase. I can check I'm happy with the costs, and then click OK. I could also add in a mini digger for the excavation using the Add Plant button. In this way, you can use the Composite Estimating Calculator to build up an estimate for any bespoke task. When you're creating your quote, if you select the Quote by Build Phase option, the composite items will appear in the quote in the build phase you selected for the resources, in this case landscaping. If you select the Quote by Location option, the items will appear in the location selected for the worksheet, for this example, the garden. If you select the Quote by Estimating Calculator option, the composite items will appear in their own section of the quote with the Estimating Calculator name as a heading, so Garden Features in this case. So to recap, if you need to add items to the estimate and none of the standard estimating calculators are set up for the task, use the Composite Items Estimating Calculator. You may need to add it into the job first using the Add Estimating Calculator button. Open up the Estimating Calculator and give it a new name. Use the Add buttons to select the resources you need. You may need to add some new resources if they're not already in the price book. Type in an item used for, enter the quantity, and select a build phase for each resource you add. It's as simple as that.